log of Medical Supervisor Peter Raleigh, dated October 29th, 2145. We have exhausted all known forms of drug treatment in hopes of finding a way to abate this strange outbreak of dementia, and I have yet to receive any additional data from the psychiatrists.
Making progress, Marines. Your journey is futile. You will die, and your sister will die.
The first 48 hours after returning from their expedition. Within 72 hours, 75% of patients exhibit extreme signs of paranoia. We have isolated these patients in hopes of finding them find no biological such drastic changes in cognitive processing. It seems that whatever this pathogen is, it attacks higher brain functions and only leaves more basal functions in the lower brainstem. We've witnessed that a high percentage of subjects lose ability for rational thought and communication skills, and then the physical changes become evident. Subjects in this group appear to atrophy. This is the audio log of Medical Supervisor Peter Raleigh, dated November 1st, 2005. Patient 0432, a Private Steve Jensen of the UAC Dark Knight Armor Corps Division, expired today at 15:43 of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This is approximately 110 hours after his return from expeditionary missions. Private Jensen was suffering from paranoid delusions and full-blown dementia. Treatment was unsuccessful. He was the last surviving member of his outfit. 4 other squad mates, who also came back with Private Jensen, expired from injuries suffered on that last mission shortly after their return. Before his death, Private Jensen was heard screaming in both English and other languages. Something about demon hordes feasting on our souls. The other language was later discovered to be Aramaic. Due to security concerns in the area, I've secured some armaments within my office.
I was part of this. I helped them. The madness of opening to another dimension. Look, we don't have much time. We let it through. The evil, the protective stabilizer on the portal just failed after Betruger took the device. It was an artifact we had found in the ruins. He took it into the portal, and hell followed him out. You have to help me first. I'm going to try to get the teleporter systems running again. The areas are destroyed around us, so it's the only way through this part of the complex. You need to find me a working plasma inducer. It's all I need to get the teleporter working. You can look for it in operations. I have a security clearance. I'll unlock some doors for you. There. We don't have a lot of time. Please hurry.
Decontamination process started. Decontamination complete. Have a nice day. Decontamination process started. Decontamination complete. Have a nice day. Comm systems active. Access denied.
Psychiatric interviews suggested only mild psychosis with speech, motor activity and thought processes within normal range, paranoia being the only psychotic.
systems deactivated.
Audio log for Phil Wilson, medical technician, Delta Labs, October 20th, 2145. Today I witnessed the third test of the teleporter in the 3 weeks that I've been here. Volunteers are becoming hard
hard to come by, and it isn't difficult to see why. They all come back screaming like loons about demons, pools of blood. Real fire and brimstone stuff. First I went to my job, but the last was Robert Clayton. Now, I met him my first day here. This guy chews up rocks and spits out gravel as tough as they come. Having to sedate him and drag his drooling body to the isolation, it's really freaking me out. I'm gonna put in for a transfer as soon as I'm able.
As requested, the following is my initial feedback on my first trip through the portal. Private First Class Frank Cinders, dated October 15, 2145. I don't know exactly where to begin. Obviously, I survived the first trip and feel no worse for the wear. I'm not feeling any of the symptoms reported by the others who've gone in before me, but I'm still processing. Thankfully, the place looks deserted and devoid of any life, but flames and heat and stench in the place. It smells of death, decay, burnt flesh. Tomorrow we're going back in with some of the eggheads. Science division to start securing forward positions, and we expect to start sending out the mapping droids at the same time. Just a bit of a personal note that I've got a really bad feeling about this. I don't understand what we're doing there or what we hope to prove. PFC Cinders, signing off.
assist Dr. Betruger in a variety of experiments, though for the past year we've been focusing almost exclusively on
decontamination process started.
I don't know how many of you want, so I'm recording this
Decontamination
someone
complete.
will know what happened.
Have a nice day.
And with that knowledge, prevent it from happening again. Initially, teleportation experiments were amazing.
Systems activated. Teleportation will commence in T-3, 2,